Let's show you today how to go through myagecare.gov.au and apply for an aged care of home care assessment. So last couple of weeks and months I've been talking about keep going to myagecare.gov.au and apply to the assessment tab. So this is what the home page looks like. So this is the URL. When you type it in, this is your home page and this is where the assessment tab is located. You go apply for assessment online and then go start now. Once you press start now, it will show you part A, B, and C. Part A consists of lots of signs and symptoms that you will notice within your parents, and there will be some visuals, very easy to read, and there will be some multiple choice questions. You just have to press one of them to proceed to the next section. Part B is where you input your parents' or grandparents' Medicare details, and Part C you put in your details. That's your they will ask you some questions how you're related to this individual, and then you'll be providing your email address and contact details. Thus, you get the notifications from My Aged Care. Now let's go through the part A. I can only show you part A today because we don't have any part B details, which is Medicare. You cannot proceed to part C without doing the part B. So let's focus on part A, which is the most important. In the part B, like I mentioned, you just need the Medicare details. If you're doing this for your parents, once you input the Medicare details as per the card, then you can move into part C. Now let's go next, and let's say you're doing this for your mom, dad, or grandparents. If they're doing this by themselves, then they'll press myself. If it is you who are doing this for your parents or grandparents, then you're going to be doing someone else. Then you go next. Let's put a date in here of the person that you're applying for. Let's take my dad for an example, 14th of Jan 1946. Then go press next. Then you press no or yes, depending on what's the situation is here. Then you go, okay, help at home, which is home care. Move to aged care home, which is the nursing home. So you choose help at home because this is what home care is. Then you go next. Now, here you can see a couple of signs and very simple pictures and words for you. It's pretty self-explanatory. So if you know that they're having some issues getting out of bed or chairs or walking, if you read through these pictures, let's say my dad needs help in all these three, and then probably here, and shopping for groceries and driving. Depending on their signs and symptoms that your parents or your grandparents have, you will choose one of these pictures, and then you go next. Can they get out of bed or chair? Let's say with an aid. Can they walk easily? It depends on their mobility situation. You can press yes, no, or somewhat. Can they use toilet, wipe, or redress? You can press yes, no, or somewhat again. Can they get dressed? Let's say in my dad's case, let's put somewhat. Can they drive? I'll say no here. Can they do shopping or groceries? Just remember, these questions are related to your parents and grandparents and their mobility and what they can or cannot do, or with aid and whatnot. So you'll be answering based on your parents' situation and observations. If they're receiving an assistance from you or any other service provider, you'll be obviously giving the right answer. If it is a no, then you press no. And then what triggered you to come here today? So if it is a stay in the hospital, sleep 444, any illness, disease, if any chronic disease, then you put in here. For an example, my dad has third stage of kidney issues. So we're going to press an illness or disease, and then we go press next. I am worried about him being by himself. So let's go next. Worry for the safety. Okay, continue to part B. Now, once you come to part B, it will ask for some consent because it will ask for private details. Then you go press next. This is what I was referring to previously, that this is where you need to input all the Medicare details of your parents or grandparents. Or if you are a 65-year-old and above and you're doing this by yourself, this is where you input your details or your partner's details or your spouse's details. Then you go next. Obviously it won't let me go any further because, as you can tell, it is stopping me right here. So we need this information. So obviously for privacy reasons, we can't use any of our Medicare details to input here. But if you do put it here, after you press next, it will take you to part C. Part C is where you will be inputting your details as a children or partner or spouse, and then you put submit. Then if you input your email address in part C, then you will receive an email from MyHCare with a reference number. So always ensure to keep that email printed out, keep it in a safe place, or you can create a folder in your email inbox and keep it safe, because that's the reference number. If you ever call MyHCare, you can always chase them with that reference number. That's all for today. Please like, share, and comment. Someone in your network may find this beneficial. This is pretty much a tutorial how to apply for myagecare.gov.au and assessment for an home care.